So what's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of 2M in Sweden, aka We Got Next. I'm one of your hosts of the show, Hayes at AO Shifty, with the one, the only Steven at Steven_Springs. Steven, welcome back. How you been? How's life treating you?
Great. I told you I'm gonna start the show with something. Hang on. My boys texting me about Penn State football. So like two things I got to talk about real quick.
Okay.
He's asking me. My boy Kumar is texting me right now. Shout out to Kumar.
Shout out.
The AP Top 25 just came out last week or earlier this week. And Penn State is ranked number 2 in the country. I don't think people understand how significant that is.
I saw that. Yeah.
Like it's one thing to be ranked, and we were so close. Texas got 25 first place votes. We got 23. Texas had 1,552 points. We got 1,547. And this is the closest it's been. Number one, the gap between number 1 and number 2, this is the closest it's been since 1998. So that tells you like where Texas and Penn State are. Ohio State was 3. Clemson was 4. Georgia was 5. Quick slants this week. I'll talk about that. But it's pretty awesome. I told you that if we were number 1 in the country, I'd probably lose my mind. But this is pretty damn close. Like number 2, like there's a big difference between like being number 1 and being number 5. Right? Big
so
difference.
For people that don't understand, Steven, explain why you guys are number 2 in your opinion.
Because we're one of the best teams, if not the best team in the country. We return 14 all Big Ten selections. We return one of, if not the best quarterbacks in the country, Drew Aller. We have the best running backs in the country. We have a very deep tight end room. We lost Tyler Warren, but we can go 5 deep at tight end. No one can say that. Wide receiver was not great last year. We had no catches by a wide receiver in the Orange Bowl against Notre Dame. That's a problem in today's college football. Not going to have that problem this year. We got 3 transfers. They've been in college a combined almost 2 decades. So like proven guys, Kyron Hudson from USC, Trevor Pena from Syracuse, and Devontae Ross from Troy. All guys are explosive, senior guys, been there, done that. So we got loaded wide receiver room, deep room too. Our offensive line, I'm going to say this. I don't know how many college football fans watch this, but anyone who is going to watch college football this year, just know that Penn State's offensive line is the best position group in the country. We have 5 NFL guys on the offensive line. The best, like I'm talking like every team in the country, they're receivers, DBs, linebackers, whatever. We have the best position group in the country in our starting offensive line. Probably go 6-7 deep. We have one of the best defenses in the country. Jim Knowles came over from Ohio State, national title winning D coordinator. We got All-Americans all over the field on defense. One of the best defensive players, 2 of the best defensive players in my mind in the country. Zane Durant, number 28, D tackle, and Tony Rojas, linebacker, number 13. And we have James Franklin is one of the better coaches in the country. People can say what they want. We have the best offensive coordinator, defense coordinator duo in the country as well. Andy Kolnicki, our offense coordinator. Again, I just listed off our entire team. We have one of the best teams in the country.
Yeah.
Texas has Arch Manning. That's a big deal. We're going to see them, week 2.
Yeah. That's going to be big.
That was why we want to start the show with. I'm pumped that we're number 2 in the country. Like it's a big deal. That means a lot of people agree with everything I just said on why we can win a national title. It's all potential.
Exactly.
Like that's all. It is. So like this Penn State potentially is one of the only teams in the country that can say like national title or bust type of season because we have so much talent. So having said that, I'm gonna keep hijacking the show real quick. Context: Christian and I went to a Ravens-Lions game, what, like 7 years ago?
Yeah.
It's been a while, right? Jay Hill has been retired for a minute, but Jay Hill got his tickets. My boy who played for the Lions, played for the Seahawks, and also played for the Lions. We were in M&T Bank Stadium. Anyone who's ever been to a Ravens game there knows what I'm talking about. That's a very high up stadium. We were at the top of the stadium, the top row.
You could be.
There's like a chain link fence that goes around the top of the stadium. And we were up
That was
against
2017 in December.
Yeah, it was cold, bro. Yeah, we were up
Yeah.
there. We were up there. So for context, we've been in this situation before. I texted Chris this morning about the Texas game, which going to be here soon. I said, where are our seats at? And like, not that I care, I'm just happy to be there. Appreciative of the tickets. Shout out to Christian for this, but and shout out to Jay Hill for the other tickets.
Shout out.
Not that I care. Again, not that I care. But I'm curious. My man texted me, told us we're in section 103.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, my man sprung for the premiums for Texas football. I look at the seating chart. It is not what you think it is. Section 103 is in the top, and our row, we are in the heavens. We're watching the game with like Hulk Hogan, bro. We're gonna be up there.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be hot. Like heat rises, we're gonna be cooked.
Yep.
Cooked, bro. Yep. I gotta figure out which way the sun's gonna like where like it's gonna be around top of us, but like see if there's any shade in our seats.
Yeah.
I was cracking up because I wanted to get your reaction because I think you knew what my reaction was going to be because you knew I was going to do my research and look it up. When I found out where our section was, I was like, "This man, I thought you sprung for the good stuff." My man just put us up in the top row.
Oh God, yeah,
but
it's up
there. We're gonna be there. It's gonna be live and it's gonna be dope. It is. I also forgot it's an hour back, so that game is gonna be at 11. So we're gonna be cooking in the Texas heat.
Yeah,
it's probably gonna be in the hundreds, high 90s, and hot.
So you want to know the craziest part? And I always look at ticket prices and stuff. I'm big for waiting to the last minute on stuff. So that's where my tickets actually are that I'm selling every single week. If you look in the lower bowl, those tickets in some areas are $600, $1,000. This is just the opening game. And I'm like,
facts.
We're a month
against
out. So
San Jose State.
Yeah, that's the big thing. Like there's some areas where, all right, maybe, but even it's a dime a dozen, you're going to be in the middle. Maybe you can get 300. So my big hope is if I can end up even potentially selling these now because someone wants to just get them, then wait until maybe the day or two before and then get them. But then you're risking with the biscuits. So it's like, keep these, see what happens as we get closer. But the fact that this is for San Jose State.
Yeah.
And it's
$600.
That's really what it is. And everyone knows I don't like to compare the two, but it's similar to Caitlin Clark. A lot of people wanted to see her in college because they knew those tickets were going to go through the roof once she got to the WNBA. Same thing with Arch Manning. You don't really know. I don't think so, but he might be a bust in the NFL. You're taking that risk right now.
And it'll be interesting. We'll do an episode before we go, but the week before. If they beat Ohio State in Columbus the first week of the season, then we have them the second week. The ticket prices are going to be through the moon. And just imagine like Arch Manning walks into Columbus and goes like, 350 yards and 4 touchdowns.
That's what I'm saying. I know.
Beat Ohio State. Like that game, it's either going to be the highest of highs or like the lowest of lows. Because if they lose, he has, a touchdown and 3 picks and, whatever. And like the dude for Ohio State, Julian Sain, plays better. It's going to be a whole different story. I'm hoping that they dominate Ohio State and he has.
That's what I'm saying. It'll make it that much better.
I mean, again, it's going to be San Jose State, but like,
and
they just rack up like 50 because then we can get out of there at halftime and go watch the second half Penn State game somewhere.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. You can end up doing both.
Either way,
that's the benefit.
Either way, it's going to be a crazy experience because it's again highest of highs, lowest of lows in that environment. But it's still going to be hot no matter what.
Highest of highs.
It's still going to be 100 degrees no matter what.
Yeah. So the other part I wanted to bring up is quick slants. You put out another one. Tell us a little bit about it for those that have not listened to it or are just now catching up. Give a little quick synopsis on it.
So last week was actually a position group breakdown, and as I
Mm-hmm.
just did. And then this week, Bridging the Gap, gonna have Jay Hill on next week
Okay.
and get some questions answered. This is the second week of practice,
Mm-hmm.
so give him this week and most of next week to go through practice, see what's going on. There's already a lot of names generating some buzz. Again, like the attention that's on Penn State, like this is another thing. All the attention is gonna be on Penn State because it's like James Franklin. He hasn't won the big game, but we have the team. Like this is his best chance ever so far, and it might be our best chance for a while because like these type
Yeah.
of seasons don't come around often. We'll still be
Yep.
there. It's like that type of team, like at the end and whatnot. But like natty or bust, that doesn't happen often.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe ever really for us.
Yeah.
So there's that. But I forget I was going with that. But last week was a position breakdown. Talked about that. Oh, bridging the gap between Jay Hill coming on next week. And there's already again. Oh, what I was gonna say was now I remember. The last time Penn State had this kind of buzz and this kind of attention was
Mm-hmm.
during the Jerry Sandusky scandal.
Yeah.
And it was the complete opposite. And that wasn't even 15 years ago. So like as a Penn State fan, to know where the program was, having been there during that time and lived through that, and now seeing where the program's at, and now like all the attention's on us for like the best reason in the sport is like the team to beat, maybe. Super dope. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, this week we're gonna talk about the top 25, do some Heisman prediction, maybe talk about ideally give everyone a little rundown of the top 10 in the country, the X factors on those teams, all that kind of good stuff, and the other players outside of the bubble that is Penn State.
Yeah.
But last week got a really good feedback on the quick slants.
That's good.
It was almost an hour, which I don't do. But
Exactly. I listened to it, had the time.
yeah, it was nuts. So that was good feedback. Got a lot of good responses, group chats, all that kind of good stuff. So, I got my hand full of people that I send it to, and then I
Yeah.
get some people on Twitter every once in a while or Instagram will respond and hit the DMs and say what up. So, shout out to the homies.
Shout out. So we
Shout out.
have 15 people listening on Twitter. If you had to summarize the quick slants into one sentence, what would you say?
Your best way to know about Penn State football.
Perfect. Okay. And the other part, I want to switch over because I did a show yesterday, and probably one of the most funniest me type of shows ever could imagine. So I had Wealth on the show yesterday, and this was essentially his warm up to come on the show more often. Because I said next time you're going to be on with Steven. And that's where the good stuff is going to end up happening. Integrating Steven into the financial side of it. Because Wealth and I talk all the time. He's not like Nutella Lick. He's not like Mike. He's not like any of the other random ones that we get on the show. Like this one we went for an hour, Steven, just talking about the markets. He's even on TikTok. We talked about TikTok, talked about Discord, anything you can imagine. So for anyone that has not listened to that, check that out. I'm gonna put more of those clips out. So probably for the rest of this week, you're gonna get a mix of crypto shorts, and then you're gonna get a bunch of the stuff that happened with fantasy football rankings we have, quick slant stuff. All of that's gonna be integrated into this week. So it's gonna be a solid week of just different content that's gonna be out there. Steven, the next part I have to bring up, I wanted to wait till later to talk about any of this, but we started the drama in the fantasy football chats. So you remember the Dynasty League that I talked about, how they'll be so pressed and ready earlier in the year.
Yep.
All right, cool. Yep. So last year there were some wild ass trades that happened. This year there was a trade and it kind of shook up everything. So the first one that happened, someone traded their 2026 fourth round pick and 2027 fourth round pick for Jay Cowing. Number one. So people are like, why the hell did you just trade 2 fourth round picks? All right, cool. That created some buzz. The one that really got it was somebody traded Xavier Worthy, Najee Harris, Chris Olave, Geno Smith, Ramondre Stevenson, and a first round pick for Caleb Williams. And then that's when
no. Someone traded all that for Caleb Williams. Wait. What did they wait?
So
what was
Xavier Worthy?
Yeah.
Geno Smith.
Yeah.
Najee Harris.
Right.
Ramondre Stevenson. Chris Olave, and a first round pick for Caleb Williams. So someone said, nah, I quit. Then after that, no one responded quick enough. So then he said, Mickey Mouse asked the league. And then someone said, trade was so crazy, but bro complains every time there's a trade, but sure. And then the commissioner of the league, who makes just as bad trades, said, that's a really bad trade, guys. That one may need a vote. And so then the dude that said Mickey Mouse asked league, he left the league. Like, didn't say anything else, just left the league. So they had to figure out someone else. So because he left the league, they were like, so you essentially traded 5 first-round picks for Caleb Williams. If you do values and stuff in Dynasty. On top of that, they did a vote. Too late now. But they were saying essentially massive overpaid. So right now, 8 people have voted. Can you guess which direction this went between pass or veto?
Pass.
Nope. 75% veto.
Wow.
25% pass. And they were essentially, so the league's in shambles. Now, me personally, I just don't do any trades. I'm over here like, you let that trade go. You haven't even brought up, I don't want to use the gambling of this, but you essentially have not brought up the financial component of this. So we got 2-3 weeks before the season starts, but that's the starting of the drama that ended up happening there. Other part I wanted to get into, because we talked about that, is we bring up a lot of times only in sports on this show. And I've been paying attention a lot recently to some of these suspensions. Adam Schefter is reporting that potentially Rashee Rice can get a 6-game suspension. It's not confirmed yet, but can get a 6-game suspension on the minimum side. But he's going to be allowed to essentially put in for, how do we put this? This shouldn't have happened. So my only in sports is, how do you end up essentially getting a suspension and then saying, hey, I want to end up vetoing or saying, no, I don't deserve a suspension?
Okay. And why? Remind people what he did.
So Rashee Rice was essentially being too fast, too furious on the highway with, I personally think, one of his buddies. They both were on the highway, speeding, accident, essentially hit and run. He got out the car, walked the other way on the highway with like 2 or 3 other dudes, and just left the scene, left the car, left everything. They ended up finding out he was a part of it. Me personally, I think either drugs or alcohol were involved, but that's your one way of, let me just piece out the scene so they can't catch me on that. Then they have to find me in another way. Did not get suspended last year, but karma did come for him because he got injured. That's really how it always happens, those random different things. But that's the main thing of what happened. He didn't really play fully last year. So they have all the evidence. Everything's been pieced together. And now they're saying the commissioner is going to lay down the hammer on this whole thing. And he has a chance to appeal this suspension. Could crazy. You do that at your job?
I'd probably be in jail. Like, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, I don't know for how long. Doesn't matter. I'd be in jail.
Yeah.
Like, that's, yeah, only in sports. I'd be fired immediately. Jail, probably divorced.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying.
Done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
only in sports.
Only in sports. The other part is Jordan Addison. So for anyone that does not remember, my guy essentially like knocked out, like was drunk, everything, knocked out. He's going to get a 3-game suspension for what he did. Again, if your job found out about this, are you going to be able to keep your job?
No.
And that's the big difference. You have both of them that had their situations. And if you want to add to it, Quinshon Judkins had his issue too.
Is he back with the team or no?
Not that I heard recently. Yeah. They keep saying that he has to figure out all of his issues off the field.
Yeah.
He didn't even play it down yet.
It's another, domestic violence.
So the other part that they're saying is he waived his right to a speedy trial. This just came out not too long ago. But he has an attorney and everything like that. They have a 60-day deadline to have all this taken care of. And then in 175 days, it should be handled. I'm personally, if it was you or I that were in these situations, they're going to take their sweet ass time. We're going to be chilling in jail until the hearing ends up happening.
Yeah. Gone. Done.
So that's the other story on that side. I know you guys, what you really came for. You came to hear about the quick slants. Then you also came to hear about our rankings. So, Steven, I dug up some information because I was able to find out what we did 2 years ago And just for context for anyone, this was our top 5 that we ended up having. And we'll be able to compare it to right now. So Steven's top 5 was number 1, Justin Jefferson, still around the same now. Number 2, Jamar Chase. Number 3, Stephon Diggs. Number 4, Tyreek Hill. Number 5, Devontae Adams. My top 5, very similar to Steven's. Number 1, Justin Jefferson. 2, Jamar Chase. 3, Tyreek Hill. 4, Devontae Adams. 5, Stephon Diggs. They're essentially the same top 5, just in a different order.
Mm-hmm.
And then it changes after that. 6, 7, 8 for me were Cooper Kupps, and then CeeDee Lamb and AJ Brown. Stevens 6, 7, 8. Garrett Wilson, DK Metcalf, AJ Brown. Again, still around the same, just plus or minus 1 or 2. So do you want to start or do you want me to start? We'll do 10 if you have honorable mentions. You said what?
I'm going to start.
All right. Do you
I've
have
been working
honorable
on
mentions or anything?
Huh?
You have honorable mentions or anything?
Yeah.
There you go.
Got it all right. All done.
Good.
I've been waiting for this.
Good. For weeks, you know.
This one I went back and forth on for a long time. Because there's a lot of new quarterbacks, teams, all that stuff, new systems that guys got to learn.
Yeah.
All those things. Now, remember, we had to, I might be saying this a couple of times, have to remember, this is not how we feel these guys are ranked in real life. It's called fantasy for a reason.
Yeah.
So my honorable mentions: Malik Neighbors, the Giants. I think.
Wow.
I think he's a sleeper. I think he's a sleeper. I think he can have a really good season.
Honorable mention.
Yeah, I think he can have a really good season. But again, it's the Giants. We know what they've been like. Russell Wilson, feel like he's kind of hit or miss right now. He was with the Steelers, but I think they're probably gonna let him rip it. So I think Neighbors could be there. DJ Moore, I don't know. I just feel like he every year there's like a random guy that pops up and like he's good, but like you haven't seen it quite yet, and he just takes off one year. DJ Moore could be that guy. I know they have Rome Odunze. Caleb Williams hasn't looked great. We all know what that team's like, but nonetheless, Jalen Waddle again. Tyreek Hill's there. Tua's got CTE. You never know. Cooper Kupp could be top 5, but
are these still honorable mentions?
Yes.
Okay.
But I think Jackson Smith and Jigba is going to be the guy in Seattle. Cooper Kupp's a year older. But they have a new quarterback situation. Sam Darnold is there, but like still new quarterback. And then my last honorable mention, I actually got 2 more. Last one is Emeka Egbuka. I think Emeka Egbuka can be the best receiver in the league. I've been saying it for a while that he's probably I think he's probably one of the better receivers come out of Ohio State, and that's a long list. But he's been getting a lot of praise. He got a lot of praise in Baker Mayfield. Mike Evans is older. Chris Godwin's been kind of banged up recently, so I think he could be a real pickup for them. And he could probably he might be top 5 on this list in a couple of years. My last one is Garrett Wilson, honorable mention.
Yeah,
don't know what that's going to be like. We all know what kind of player he is. I mean, when he's on, he's a top 5 receiver probably, but you don't know what that quarterback situation is going to be like. And it's depth. Number 10. Number 10. This is when things get weird. Number 10, I got Justin Jefferson.
Really?
Number 10. Okay. We all know he is the second best or the best wide receiver in the league. But their quarterback situation, bro, is dog shit.
Shit, you don't know.
Dog shit, bro. You're telling me that the Vikings starting quarterback is going to be JJ McCarthy?
They have a lot of hope in him.
I don't know why. That's all. No, I don't know what. He's trash. He's not going to be a good. No, it's not going to happen. I know Justin Jefferson is, again, elite, but like, no. Who's the backup, you ask? Sam Howell. No. No thanks. Third string guy, Brett Ripon. And then fourth string, Max Brosmer. Those are 2 made up names. Those are not real NFL players. That tells you, like, that's why. But Justin Jefferson can they're going to force him the ball. Addison's suspended. They have Aaron Jones is very solid, but they're going to force him the ball. Number 9, I got Jackson Smith and Jigba. Again, new quarterback situation, but I think he's going to get a ton of targets. I don't think it's going to be like a split or anywhere close between him and Cooper Kupp. I think he's going to get a bunch of targets, as he should. Number 8, Devontae Smith. I think And just for reference, I have AJ Brown at 6. I think they're like, this is gonna when they start to cross paths, and I think Devontae Smith, a couple years, is going to be up there, and AJ Brown is going to start sliding down. Age, experience, but I think Devontae Smith can be better than AJ Brown as well. Number 7, CeeDee Lamb. Again, big what if, big what if, dude. He's top 3 receiver in the league probably when he's on. But George Pickens, if his head's on straight, dude, that's gonna be a problem. Like for everybody else, but also gonna be a problem for fantasy owners of CeeDee Lamb because he's not gonna get that many touches. I don't think they're gonna force him the ball because they're not gonna need to, especially if George Pickens is thriving. Number 6, I got AJ Brown. I mentioned. Number 5, Marvin Harrison Jr. This is the complete wild card. This is the biggest wild card of the bunch. I think no one knows about him because he plays for the Cardinals, and like the Cardinals haven't been good. And Kyler Murray's been injured. It hasn't worked out because of that. But again, this is one of those seasons like Kyler Murray can easily throw for 4,200 yards, and Marvin Harrison Jr. can get 1,600 yards and like 18 touchdowns for sure. So I think obviously we know what kind of talent he is, but they got to put together. But if they do, they got Trey McBride, but Marvin Harrison Jr. is different. So I think he could be there, or he could not be on this list, and Kyler Murray could have a dog shit season. So there's that. 4, and if you go back and look at my quarterback list, none of this makes sense.
No, it doesn't.
It does not match up with my quarterbacks and where they are on this list. But anyway, number 4, I got DK Metcalf. But this matches though because I have Aaron Rodgers as my 4th best quarterback. So that's fair. So give me that. Again, they're going all in on one season. And Aaron Rodgers is going to do everything he can to get DK Metcalf the ball. And people have been asking me like about being a Steelers fan, like what I think about Rodgers. I don't. He can do whatever he wants. He can do any kind of retreats he wants, smoke whatever he wants, eat whatever. As long as he can take a 3 to 5 step drop back and launch it to DK Metcalf, I don't care.
That's all that matters.
You dickhead, I don't care. Like whatever, dude. As long as you can throw bombs to DK Metcalf and he has like a Pro Bowl or All Pro season, sign me up, dude. Sign me up. Number 3, I got 2 guys, Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams.
Smart.
Devontae Adams, it's a new team, new system. He's one of the most intelligent players in the league. Actually, Aaron Rodgers just said that the other day. But him and Matthew Stafford, I think it's going to be an instant connection. And they're only going to. I mean, he's 32. He's getting up there.
So I want to stop you there for a quick second because with Matthew Stafford being injured, do you have any concerns with who that backup is and what Devontae Adams has said about that backup?
Who is their backup, by the way?
Jimmy G.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, no, that's fine. I looking at that right now. I trust him. He's a pro. He's been around for a long time. McVay's a great head coach. Yeah, I mean he's not Matthew Stafford, but like he's not trash. So that's fine. Puka Nacua though, like young guy. We all know what he can do. Like kind of came out of nowhere, but Devontae Adams is Devontae Adams, and if he's healthy, he's on. They're clicking. Whether it's Stafford or even Jimmy G, I think that's gonna. Regardless, I think that's gonna make them even better. Number 2, I got Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Okay.
I didn't want to put him there, which is funny because if you look at my honorable mentions for quarterbacks, you'll find Jared Goff down there.
Yeah.
But he's gonna get the ball. They have talented guys. That's one of like the best teams in the league, obviously. But he's like taking that next step type of thing. If he takes that next step and like they start clicking with him, that can be a 1,700 yard season, like 15, 18 touchdowns. That could be like a one-hit wonder and he's done. I don't think it's going to be that though. I didn't want to put him there, but I think just with the experience, I thought about putting DK Metcalf at the top, honestly. Because I think if that hits, man, Rodgers and Metcalf, that can be such a good combo. Number 1, I got Jamar Chase. I know they got T. Higgins, but Joe Burrow can sling it, dude. I know their defense sucks. And like they're going to be on the field, but they're going to be on the field a ton. That offense
all the time.
Offense is going to be on the field all the time. Burrow can this could be like they could be 9 and 8, but like he can still have like 5,000 yards and Jamar. I know they have T. Higgins, but like those guys are starting to really hit a stride, and that could be very solid this year, like
Mhm.
like an elite type of thing. That team's going to struggle, but they're going to need those guys to put up a lot of points too.
Yeah.
And if anyone's going to do it for that team, it's going to be those two guys. So if things go well for that duo, Jamar Chase could break the record this year, and he could maybe have 2,000 yards, dude, and like 20 plus touchdowns.
They have
for sure.
to. Yeah.
They're going to have to, because that defense sucks.
Some shit.
So
yes.
I got Jamar Chase, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams at 3, Metcalf at 4, Marvin Harrison Jr. at 5, AJ Brown at 6, CeeDee Lamb at 7, Devontae Smith at 8, Garrett Wilson, Jackson Smith-Njigba at 9, Justin Jefferson, unfortunately, at 10. I cannot wait to hear what yours is, because it's not going to be remotely close to mine.
Listen, okay. So I was going through this, and I said, the only thing we have in common, I'm going to let everyone know now, I'll give the stats later, Jamar Chase. Nobody else on this list is like almost even remotely close as how it is. But it also just shows our thought process on how we view all of this, which is what I appreciate. Because my honorable mentions, I've brought this person up since damn near the dawn of time, and that's Ladd McConkey. I didn't put him yet in the top 10 because I don't know enough with the Los Angeles Chargers, what Herbert's going to do, what Harbaugh wants to even do with that offense. We saw it last year, and they tried to go with Quentin Johnson. Still didn't work. So it's going to have to be the Ladd McConkey show until some of the rookies end up showing. Another honorable mention, and it's just so weird right now for us to even bring him up in this way. I want to stop on him, Tyreek Hill. So we have legit seen the whole progression and regression of Tyreek Hill from the Kansas City Chief days to him going to Miami, from him doing stupid stuff over there on the field, to him getting arrested right before the game, only in sports, and then your agent was able to make sure you could play in the game, and then you end up scoring a touchdown in that game, and then you end up doing a touchdown celebration dance to reenact what you just had happen to you before the game. So insane how that happened. But I was listening to some talk shows in the past couple of days. They really think that this year and next year are going to start to lead to the regression of what happens with Tyreek Hill. Other part that I want to bring up, and I'll pause here because he just retired from being on this team, Odell Beckham. Number one, do you think he's a Hall of Famer?
Okay. So it's funny you mentioned that, because I was looking, someone was talking about Mike Evans not being a Hall of Famer, or not being a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Insane.
And I can't agree with that, but I can't disagree with that. When you look at someone like Mike Evans, his numbers are fantastic. But as I'm going to bring up right now, you look at Odell Beckham's numbers, like they're not. He was hurt, so I kind of give some credit to that. But his numbers are not great, dude.
Dude, he made most of his notoriety off of one catch, not even a full hand help him make that catch.
So, okay. He was really heading towards, and I'm probably someone's gonna come at me for saying that, but like he had 8,000 yards receiving and 59 touchdowns, right?
Yeah.
Never led the league in receiving. He had 4 healthy seasons. He started off with 1,300 yards, 1,400 yards, 1,300 yards, 12 touchdowns, 13 touchdowns, 10 touchdowns, and he got hurt. Man, he was really heading towards like being that dude.
Yeah.
Like being that guy. But then he fell off, got hurt. So his numbers aren't what they probably could have been. So no, I don't think he's a Hall of Famer. But I think like Mike Evans is more of a Hall of Famer.
Play every game that rookie year that he did all of this.
Huh?
He didn't even play every game in that rookie year.
He had played in 12 games, averaged 108 yards a game, and he had 12 touchdowns.
Do you know how crazy that is?
Yeah.
Like you had that, and then you topped off that the next year with 1,400 and 13 touchdowns. Then that's just crazy what he did. And then to see him retire, but people went for his name, because after those first 3 years, what did he do? He never had a 10-plus touchdown year after that. He had 2,000-yard years, one in New York, another one in New York, and then he had another one in Cleveland. It just went downhill. He even had 0 touchdowns that year in 2021 with Cleveland, came back, made his name on the Rams in the Super Bowl, helped them, then got injured.
Mike Evans has had 1,000 yards in every season, and he's played 11 seasons.
Yeah.
He's got 12,684 yards. He's active leader in touchdowns with 105. He's never made an All-Pro. He's never been an All-Pro first team. He's made 2 All-Pro teams, but never been first team. Yeah. He does have 6-time Pro Bowler. He's just been so consistent,
and that's why they love him down there. But
I don't know. I wanted Hall to Famer, maybe.
I know.
All right. Anyway, back to your list.
And I'm glad that you brought up Mike Evans, because another honorable mention I have is Mike Evans because of the consistency. So I have Ladd McConkey, Tyreek Hill, Mike Evans, and this is where it starts to get a little weird compared to Steven's list. I have Jackson Smith and Jigba as an honorable mention, and then Devontae Adams as an honorable mention. Now going into the top 10, and the same way Steven does have some who knows, it can be boom or bust. Number 10, Drake London. So my big reason for having Drake London up there is because he did have a great year last year. He did end up having 100 receptions, 1,200 receiving yards, and he did have only 9 touchdowns. It's not great compared to some of the other ones on the list, but he had solid numbers, and that was with who the hell knew what was going to be his quarterback at the time. Part of it was Kirk Cousins. The other part was Michael Penix Jr. They want to target him. I'm not going to bring up the tight end, who essentially is like Voldemort in the league now. So it's really just going to be Drake London at that point. So I'm thinking that he can end up doing well. Number 9, it goes to Mr. A.J. Brown. I don't need to bring up the stats. A big thing is with that whole Philadelphia Eagles offense, someone's going to get the touches. Steven mentioned him at 6, and then he also had Devontae Smith up there. I only have A.J. Brown on this list because they're going to focus so much on Saquon Barkley again. And the other part is their defense. I don't like to say this. We'll hear it in my defensive talk when I do that. Their defense is solid. So what happened last year a lot of the time was the defense was able to stop the other team so much that they didn't even have to do that much through the air, which then forced A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith not to get as many receiving yards as they possibly could end up getting. Number 8, and this is where the list totally takes a turn compared to Stevens, Brian Thomas Jr. This is the only time I'll ever give praise to the Jacksonville Jaguars, because fuck the Jags. But 87 receptions last year for Brian Thomas Jr., 1,300 receiving yards, and he had 10 touchdowns in his rookie year. Other part that I want to bring up here is I do have at least 4 LSU wide receivers, and that just speaks volume to what is happening down there in the swamp. But I do have Brian Thomas Jr. up there. Only question I know some people are going to bring up is Travis Hunter going to take away from that? I don't know. It really just depends on, number 1, can he get away from a lot of these DBs in the NFL? DBs in the NFL are very different than DBs in college. And of course, the league he played in, the division he played in is very different now compared to the conference he played in. But that's number 8. Number 7, again, here comes the weird part, Puka Nacua. It's so crazy to say that Puka Nacua kind of is that number 1A compared to Devontae Adams being the 1B, but it's going to allow Devontae Adams to shine. I could see Devontae Adams having more touchdowns than Puka Nacua does because of that, but Puka Nacua having more receiving yards than Devontae Adams, just depending on where they use them. Again, the big caveat for me is who's the quarterback. If it's Matthew Stafford, hell, they both could be in the top 5 at that point. But if it's Jimmy G, they can both be serviceable in the top 10. So number 6, Malik Neighbors. There's not really much I need to say with that. Again, that's another receiver that's out of LSU Academy of Receivers. He had 109 receptions last year. He had 1,200 receiving yards, and then he did have 7 touchdowns. And that was with me and Steven essentially being his quarterbacks last year. And now this year, he's going to have either Russell Wilson, maybe Jackson Dart, and then he'll also have the preacher himself. One of those are going to do it. If you saw Jameson Winston end up throwing it, hitting the goalposts, help the whole team at that point, who the hell knows what's going to happen? But I think Malik Neighbors will have a good year. Number 5, and I'm surprised Steven didn't even bring this person up, but I have Nico Collins. And Nico Collins didn't have a great year last year, but CJ Stroud clearly knew that that was his main target, especially with the different injuries that did happen over there. Of course, Stephon Diggs got injured too. And that did play a part. Tank Dell got injured, but he had 68 receptions last year on 99 targets. He had 1,000 receiving yards, and then he did have 7 touchdowns. So that's another thing just to keep in mind when it comes to them. They did pick up 2 Iowa State receivers, so that's something else. They also have Christian Kirk, so it might be a little bit of a regression, but I still see Nico Collins playing a factor in this list. Number 4, don't need to repeat it because Steven already brought it up. Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's number 1A alpha, whatever you want to call it, over there in Detroit. As long as that team continues to go in the direction they're going, they're going to be fine. Number 3, you can kind of guess where this list is starting to go. Justin Jefferson. They just have to force feed him. Like, that's my big thing. Just force feed the hell out of him, and then they'll be fine. Number 2, Mr. CeeDee Lamb. And this really depends on Dak Prescott. They have no running game. Essentially, me and Steven are back there in the backfield at this point because we don't really know what they're doing. If they could just sling it, Dak Prescott stays healthy. George Pickens, Ferguson, and CeeDee Lamb should all be able to eat. Number 1, doesn't really need much discussion on this one. The Triple Crown winner himself, Jamar Chase. Again, I view this team so similar to.
Oh, yeah, Chase.
I was going to go. So number 1, I have Jamar Chase. Number 2, CeeDee Lamb. Number 3, Justin Jefferson. And number 1,
4 was who?
4 is Amon-Ra St. Brown. 5 is Nico Collins. 6 is Malik Neighbors. 7, Puka. Number 1 being Jamar Chase. I view this team similar to the Phoenix Suns when they had Steve Nash, Leandro Barbosa, and Amari Stoudemire. They played no goddamn defense. It was like straight offense. And it was, all right, we just have to score more points than them. That's how it's really going to be. You have Chase Brown in the backfield, Joe Burrow, just keep them upright, and all this can be fine. And then you have solid tight ends, and then you have T. Higgins, and then, of course, Jamar Chase himself. So that's my main viewpoint on all of this. Jamar Chase, we both agree on. That's why I said it. There's no one else that should even really be in that consideration. If that defense is as bad as it is, Steven, they have to just keep scoring. But that's all I have on my side. Number 2 with all of this is, what do you want to do next week? You have defense, you have running back. If you want to do kicker, we could do kicker.
All right. You pick.
Because it was supposed to be. Because it was supposed to be last week and the week before or the week next, we're doing defense just to get that one out the way. And that also gives us enough time, because if we do defense next week, the week after that, we'll just end with running back, because that's probably the main position a lot of people care about. And you know who I'm probably going to say at number 1, Christian McCaffrey. Then he's going to have some sort of injury, and it's going to be like that. So we have defense next week, which is more important than a lot of people think. Before we end the show and we do what you got, did you see Cam Little's field goal?
It did. Doesn't count, but it was like that was good.
Yeah.
It was good.
So the first time I saw it, I was like, no, this is probably like some video game shit. Who knows? And then you look, you're like 70 yards. 70, and this man wants to go say, oh, don't worry, it'll happen again. That's going to happen again.
I don't know how you do that.
I don't know. And he had maybe a yard or 2 left he could have cleared it with. It wasn't one of those that was just good. Barely. Yeah. So how do you even just tell your coach, you know what? Like, this is working.
I got you, bro.
I got you. Yeah. So that was the main thing. I wanted to give my props to him. Finally, what you got?
Shout out to Penn State football, man.
Shout out.
Like, it's time to rock. Season's going to be here in 17 days.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're in a great spot, dude. I go the program, all of it, great spot. Number 2 in the country. I cannot stress that enough, how awesome that is. You've been along for the ride for what, 10 years now? So this could be like the best season that Penn State football has ever had, or might ever have. So I just want all Penn State fans just need to enjoy it, because these seasons do not happen often. Like, Ohio State had it last year, Michigan had the year before. It just doesn't happen every year where your team is like this. So I'm pretty insufferable as it is, like I said before. So it's going to be a lot worse as the season progresses, especially if things go well. So just be prepared. But shout out to Penn State football, man.
Shout out. So I have 2 super fast ones. The first one is, we had a meeting the other day, and this one person that doesn't know that much about college football, but knows a lot about the NFL, was talking to one of my coworkers. Her and I talk a lot because she went to Iowa, so you know where this story's going. And they were like, yeah, so I was watching this commercial about Little Caesars and then Pat McAfee, how he's with Pizza Hut, and such and such, won't say the name, such and such. Do you know who George Kittle is? And she was like, yeah, like
Yeah, of course.
from Iowa. That's like one of the most
Yeah.
important people that ever played at Iowa. So that was the first part of the way he acts. It was one of those don't disrespect somebody. That's like
Yeah.
someone asking me, do you know who Taylor Heineke is?
Right.
What? Like he was everything over
Yeah.
there. So that was the first part. The other part, and I have to give a shout out to him. I will say him by his name,
Shout out.
but shout out to Landon. So we work
Shout out.
together. We usually talk, we'll talk about golf and different things. And he said, Christian, so guess where I'm going this weekend? And I kept forgetting that this is the weekend. He's going on one of his buddies' bachelor party trips. They're going to Fenway Park. Like
Oof.
that's where they're going to go watch a game. And then after that, one of his buddies, their family has a home by the water in Maine.
Sick.
And so he said, at first, I didn't know I was as close to them as I thought I was. And they were like, yo, Landon, just buy your plane ticket. We'll take care of everything else. So he's going to a Fenway Park game against the Marlins. Nothing major. But I said, you going to Fenway Park is one of those big time places to go to. And then afterwards, you just get to chill in Maine by the water when it's not cold, when it's not snowing, win. So those are my two main ones that we have. Next week, we're going to do defense. Week after that, we're going to end up doing running back. The week after that, we're going to be talking about preparing for Texas Longhorns game. So until then, hook 'em.
Hook 'em.
We out.